Well, hey, hello, welcome back. It's a hot one out here. I want to show you guys my version of sprayed grass and how I make it. It's probably a little bit off, but to me it looks right. So I haven't done sprayed grass in a long time, maybe over a year now, and I really don't know why, because it's always produced good for me in tubes. But today I'm actually going to try. I'm going to do some tubes, but I'm actually going to try maybe a knuckle dragger and a stinger. My bait wall it's extremely empty. I haven't had this empty in a long time, but I've been doing an awful lot of fishing and not enough working. So I'm ready to get started. So let me show you what's in it. All right, so sprayed grass has two sides. At least my version does. I use a couple drops of black, straight up black 103 with some extra fine, let me see that focus, some extra fine purple flake. But today also, I think along with the purple, I'm gonna throw this really extra fine royal blue in it. The second side, normally what I make it out of, I use a few drops of watermelon 101, a few drops of green pumpkin 109, not 156 but 109. So a while back I was perusing through Lure Works catalog and I saw this pumpkin watermelon 145. So I'm gonna use this instead of this, just to see what it comes out like, right? It's all experimental. And then of course I'm gonna load it up with some 015. So all these pigments have to be shaken really well because I don't use them enough and they separate. And somebody told me the other day, on these new ones especially, you got to drop a nut. So there we go. Drop the nut in there. See how that works. Now here's some of the other equipment we're going to use today. I'm going to make some 4-inch tubes. I already got the rods in it. Got them a little oiled up. I'm going to try some of these stingers. I'll use the stingers as a trailer. Sometimes I use it as a punch bug. But sometimes I just Texas rig it. Same with the knuckle dragger. I always fish the knuckle dragger the same way as the stinger. I'm gonna prefer the knuckle dragger over the stinger just because it has a slight bit different action with the appendages. So we'll go ahead and lock them in. Right now I got this Phantom mold. I'm only using it for a spacer right now because if I didn't put a spacer in it, then I'd have to loosen up all these. I'd have to loosen up all these nuts right here and slide this in and out. But when I first built it and I was all excited about it, that's what I used to do. But you know, as time goes on, I get tired of loosening them and tightening them. So I really just put a bunch of spacers. I use molds as spacers sometimes, and other times I got actually real spacers. I had bought this to make some cooling blocks, but it's a little bit too thin. I believe I'm gonna get some 1/2-inch material for the cooling blocks. So I got some plastic heating up in a microwave. So I thought I'd show you some other equipment that we have to use for a dual color. This is a dual injector. Pretty simple. It's just 2 injectors in one, and we'll use it in this blending block. What happens is the injector is going to line up. Get that in the camera. The injector will line up like this, and it'll blend the two colors together inside the mold. All right, so plastic's ready. I brought it up to like 380 because I just felt like I just cooked it all the way through. So let's build side one. All right, for side one, I'm gonna use my new pumpkin watermelon, 154. I never used it before, so well, I have tried it before, but I never really got the gist of how dark it is. So I think that was about 10 drops. I'll put 2 more drops. Let's just call that 12. For me, that's dark enough. I don't know about everybody else, but see what it looks like after this flake is in it. So I'm gonna put 2 of these. I could use a half instead of a quarter, but I like to heap these, so it just gives me that a little extra that I think about all the time. I don't really want to go too much because you can't take it back out. So right now, I think I'm gonna call that good. All right, here we go with side 2. Side 2's always been a little bit on the tricky side for me getting the black right, because too much just ruins it. So I just wanna, I'm gonna start off with 2 little drops, and that's it. Let's see what it, because all I want is like maybe almost a charcoal color. I want it very translucent. See how what, even 2 drops seemed like a lot. That might work. Might work. Let's see. So I use a quarter again, but I'm gonna make it a little bit heaping. Look at that. That could almost be a half. Same with this very, very fine royal blue. Well, I'm not gonna heap this quite as much, but it's still gonna be more than a quarter. And that's it. That's what I call sprayed grass. Might not be the same as everybody else's, but this is what works for me out when I'm fishing. I don't know why it's been so long since I used it. All right, here we go with, got them both ready to go. And this mold, none of these molds have a top or a bottom. They're all what do you call it? I guess they're symmetrical all the way across, so I don't really have to worry about what's top or bottom. That makes it a little bit easier. When you got a top or a bottom, you got to really mark it. All right, that looked good. It's important to keep these topped off. It keeps you from getting holes in the bait. If anybody wants to see what it looks like inside the blending block. Pretty cool. See how it just comes down? It right in the tip, it blends it and mixes them, and hopefully down inside the mold they stay separated. All right, well, let's see what we got. Let's do these. Do the stingers first. I've never done a stinger in this color before. That's side one. And side two. That was a good lamination. Next to those knuckle draggers. Like I said before, I use these in the same situations most of the time. It's just sometimes I actually prefer these appendages versus the other one, you know, what's on the stinger. I actually like the way these flap better than what the stingers does. So see how these tubes came out. This side actually looks good. Yeah, I like those. So that's that combination, pumpkin watermelon, but I like the way it comes out. Like I said, this is my version of sprayed grass. Might not be for everybody, but it works well on my lakes. So these came out good. So for the tube mold, it takes a little bit between sets. And I kind of try to wipe any leftover oil that could just. Sometimes if you have too much buildup in here, I guess kind of like hydraulics, it'll hold it open just enough where you're gonna get a little bit of flash. But the second thing you got to do, so this is what's important. Make sure these are good and clean. And so many people use so many different oils. Some people like to spray these with WD-40. Somebody told me one time they use just regular kitchen Pam, that stuff you spray in the frying pans and stuff. Some people use that. For years I've just been using plain old Lureworks worm oil. Very cheap. Put a little bit on there. Kind of give it a little roll around. Probably good for your skin too. Especially in the winter time when it tends to crack all up, right? And now on this tube mold, if you bring it back, like the one I like a thick nose in it because I Texas rig mine. But if you're gonna use them some other way, if you're gonna shove a weight down in it, you might wanna use a configuration like this. Let me show you. See, can you see these two? See how, like, the way I like it, the tip of it's got a lot of meat in it. This barely has a tip. This brings it right out to the end, which if you're going to use a lead head in there, let me show you. All right, well, I dug everywhere. I can't find a lead head, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Right up here on the hook, there's you'll have on the hook shank. No, this is a different kind. On the hook shank, you'll have a weight. You'll have lead that comes down almost like a bullet sinker. And what you can do is push it in right here, run the hook all the way through until you bury that weight inside the head. So if you're going to do that, if you're going to rig it that way, this needs to be up forward where you don't have a lot of plastic up there where it's kind of hollow. The way I prefer to fish a big tube like this is to Texas rig it. So I'll just do my normal Texas rig thing, skin hook it through there, and then I'll run this right under here and then skin hook it. And this is where the tentacle is going to be. I'll show you all that next. So this will be your last step before actually going to go rig up a tube. So I'll get it focused right here. And you see, I got some remnants in there from the last time I cut tubes. And you can just run the knife. Don't come up this way with it, but just run it down like this. And that'll clear everything out. And all this is a spacer and a hockey puck. All right, so here we go. Tubes are as simple as this. I really only fish with tubes and a lot of times in the hotter part of the summer. And then if I go somewhere and there's a lot of riprap, I like to Texas rig these tubes and pretty much just bounce them down that riprap. I picked up a lot of fish that way. There we go. Pretty good, huh? I love this color. I don't know why I haven't done it in a long time. All right, well, that's my version of sprayed grass. I hope y'all liked it. Even if it's not sprayed grass exactly, maybe it's something you'll like. You know what I mean? Try that color. I use this color like my version of sprayed grass, and I've had a lot of success with it. It's about time for me to go. I got to go start the grill. Down here in southeast Texas, it is just plain hot. And let me show y'all something. I don't know if you can read them temps on there, but it's just as hot inside my shop as it is outside. I don't know if y'all was able to see those temps. That's kind of digital. Sometimes it don't come out good, but it's 99 and 100 outside. It's 98 inside the bait cave, and I'm just sweating buckets. No, that sounded like I was complaining. I'm not complaining. I have a lot of fun out here. But anyway, I hope y'all like my video, and hope you keep watching. Thinking about, on my next video, I'm thinking about either seeing what the remnants of sprayed grass, both sides put together, get both sides put together, and seeing what that looks like, and maybe that might be a cool color. I may try that, or I may try my leftovers and make some little tiny tubes and some little crappie slayers and crushers. I'm not sure yet. I'll see you guys next time. And until then, I hope everybody's safe and stay cool. Don't get overheated. It's too easy to do. I mean, before you know it, it catches up with you. So drink a lot of fluid, stay safe. I really appreciate all you guys out there watching my videos. after 30 years of being in the service, I really look forward to all the interaction. You guys are great. Take care. Talk to you later. Bye.